Hey, yeah. So YouTube or internet or NSA or whoever watch it. Listen, man, I just want to just say a few things pertaining to some concern that has just these. Sometimes I pay attention to the little politics and things are going on around the world and in the media to be size, mostly the media because sometimes they feed us all kind of stuff. Sometimes you have to pick what's true and what's false. Um, in that case, I just follow all kind of media. I follow left leaning media, right wing media. I follow international media. But I buck up on this one, RT, and it's a Russian funded Kremlin, whatever. Funded is a Russian media thing. They more deal with the internet. They more on the internet. They more YouTube and this type of thing. They so, alright. They're all over the place. You go Europe and they're very very common. Like the Western world, like America. I don't know how common it is, but on the European side of things, they're all over the place. But the thing what getting me with RT. And RT, like they like to talk a lot about human rights and this and that, you know. Edward Snowden and these guys are them. They love this type of thing. But you know what pisses me off with them? They are Russian funded kind of a station. And everybody who know that Russia is not the most human rights best human rights country for best country for human rights. Everybody who know about these things know that. This station now, right now they're making a big deal about anything that have to do with America. Like America, yeah, everybody know America make all kind of mistakes sometimes. They do all kind of crazy stuff when they're ready. They sometimes government, Congress, whatever, that's country, that's thing. They make all sorts of mistakes. Alright. RT love to take on that and make a big fuss about it. Alright. The thing what does get me with them, they love to take mics, go in the streets, some of the major cities. New York to be exact. They do it in London and all over the place too. But they do it, what thing with me with them with New York, they go on the streets of New York, they find the bombs on the streets, right? Bombs. Maybe there is a more political correct word for them, but yeah, you guys probably know bombs better. The street people, men who live on the street all their life, they just prefer staying on the street. Drug addicts, whatever they is, they can't help themselves. They love to go and take mics and put it in the face of these people and ask them questions about the government, what the government not doing for them. Oh, America this, America that. Oh, your government letting you down. And sometimes, you have times they do little interview about things coming to like NSA spying and thing, and they kind of like, yeah. Sometimes they ask legitimate questions. But when coming to this type of thing there, where you come and ask these bombs on the streets about your government and helping you or this and that and the other. Come on, people, listen. That's bombs. No government, nobody, no institution, no shelter, no nothing could help these people. They live all their life on the street. They're bombs. They want to be on the street. From family member to shelter to government. A lot of people just offer themselves to help bombs. You take them, you put them in a shelter, you feed them, you clothe them, you bathe them, and turn your back on them. The next day you go back and you meet them the same place you picked them up the day before. That's what happened in all countries, whether major countries, whether poor countries, whether America, whether Britain, and I know it happening more worse in Moscow. And here where I'm going with this with Moscow now. Moscow have a children problem. Yeah. 9-year-old and 10-year-old little boys and girls on the streets of Moscow taking drugs. Some of them involved in prostitution as young as 14, 15, 13, 12, whatever. RT need to go and take mics and put it in the face of these kids or these people, the Guardian, Vladimir Putin and them. Why you concentrating on what America ain't doing for the bombs on the streets of New York? When you have kids in the streets of Moscow and you're not taking mics, you see how double standard? What kind of thing is that? when the kids probably need more help. Not probably. The kids need more help because you can't teach old dog new trick. You can't teach an old bum to be come back and be no. You can't change that. That installed in the man already. And most time they go and they shove the mic in black people. Like most of the time they go to the, because you know how the poverty thing go in America, right? The poverty thing is more the black, mostly black people are in the poor class of things, and you know, with all the history, all you know, America history, and black people never really elevate themselves too much. It's only so far a black person could really reach. In the whole of America, we only have 1 or 2 billionaires as a black man in America. So people who don't know, but so we don't expect. So they, most of the times when they go on the street and they find the bombs, most of the bombs is black men, black people. Yeah. And they go in the face of the, and some of these people don't even know better. They don't even know what RT mean. And asking these people all kind of lame, dumb questions. And these people just basically just give them answers based on what, how they feeling, probably what kind of drugs they smoke the day, I don't know. That way I'm taking issue with that. I find that so ridiculous. When you have so much problems in Russia, all kind of crazy stuff happening in Russia. They're talking about human rights. Russia is not nobody to tell nobody about human rights. Russia, China, and these countries and them don't mention nothing about human rights to nobody, especially America, because the record for human rights is blim. Russia, China, North Korea, and these countries and them, all of them in the same. Any country that have anything to do with communism shouldn't tell nobody nothing about human rights, because they only run by they run by a maniac. The one man. Russia is run by Vladimir Putin. He do whatever, whenever. RT can't say nothing about him. So don't talk about other countries that America have 3 branches of government. America is one of the most. You can't tell America and Americans about human rights when human rights started in America. Alright? They have Edward Snowden these days making us such a puppy show. Edward Snowden, who know what kind of a setup they set up Edward Snowden. I think Edward Snowden is a spy for Russia, if you ask me. Yeah, that's what I think, my opinion. Alright? I don't get that on no news and no media, no way. And that's just my opinion. I think Edward Snowden is one of the biggest spies out there. But Edward Snowden, when he now started about the NSA leaks and things, he have a few things that legitimate about that. But lately, some of what he's saying don't make no sense. You could just see the lies out of it. Every 2 days, they're coming out with some kind of a lie and more lies. We understand RT is a propaganda, lie-driven thing. We get it. That's why people like me have issue with them, because I don't know, they're just spreading lies out there, and you have a lot of dumb people who don't pay attention. They don't know nothing about politics or nothing about what's going on in their own country, and sometimes they turn on the computer, they turn the CRT, they hear people talking a bunch of dumb things, and they believe them things. Yeah, and that's my issue. It's like I don't know how they could be getting away with such lies and stuff they just be spreading. Yeah, but my big thing is with them is with these kids, man, in Russia, and taking mics and shove it in Americans' face and telling them about, oh, look at what they did. I know everybody know what America problem is. Because America is the most free country when coming to media. America don't keep the things too much down. Everything is out there. So everybody know America's stories, the good and the bad. No, you know, RT don't need to come make up stories and make up lies to feed nobody. Everybody know America is like an open book to the world. So what we want to know about is what's going on in Russia with those kids on the street. What we want to know about is when journalists gone missing, and you know, people can nobody can really, TV station and radio station and things shutting down and closing down because they disputing what Vladimir Putin and them saying, the Kremlin. Anybody that rebut the Kremlin or against what Vladimir Putin doing, they done. TV station shut down, media shut down. That we want to know about those things. Yeah, we don't mind you tell us a little bit about the NSA and thing, and you tell us a little bit about some things in London and where. But tell us a little bit about Russia too, about Moscow. We want to know. Yeah, tell us some things too. Yeah, don't try to tell us about some America this and don't tell us nothing about Moscow when we know all the dumb shit is happening in Moscow, Russia. Really, all you have more baggage than anybody else. So don't try that. All right, good. I don't care if you guys like it or don't like it, hate it, whatever. It don't really matter to me. That's just my opinion, and I'm free to say whatever. You know, I'm not saying nothing that is not true. I'm kind of making fun of it in a way, but it's the truth. So there we go.